So, I just got home from a date that lasted approximately 30 minutes. And you want to know where that was? Don't know why I'm hunched over like this. Because, let me tell you. Because he didn't want to pay for parking near the restaurant, and he wanted me to walk 20 minutes to the restaurant. And that's not bad, but, well, it is bad. But, and don't get me wrong, I don't expect a man to pay for everything at all. But if you're not going to pay for parking, then why are you taking me out?
I get her point and I get why she may be disappointed. But in this specific case, I'm gonna go ahead and give the guy the benefit of the doubt. Perhaps he parked far from the restaurant on purpose to give you guys the time to walk and talk and get to know each other and to spend more time with you. Instead, it clearly backfired because you left so quickly after barely 30 minutes with him. I don't know how that would be possible if you had to walk all the way to the restaurant and still sit and pretend to care for another at least half an hour to have a meal or coffee or whatever it was and then walk back to the car. Unless he didn't really park that far and you're just being dramatic. The problem with this woman specifically is that she's saying that she doesn't even mind paying for everything when other girls with better attitude can get the guy to pay for everything, but at least be grateful, at least live within what he can afford. If a guy is going to single-handedly be paying for all of the dates, I always say this, the least the woman can do is be appreciative, put a smile on her face, not nitpick and not criticize whatever he decides to do, because clearly he has taken into consideration his budget. But if you're going to be paying, or you said you don't mind contributing financially and helping him out, and you don't mind having a guy that doesn't pay for everything, then why would you be sad over parking? You just indirectly admitted that you don't mind doing a 50-50 relationship. So you could have just offered to pay for parking, for example, and he could have paid for other things, or he could have maybe paid for 70% of the bill rather than 50%. Obviously, I don't recommend any of this. I'm just letting you know she doesn't make sense. So in this case, he didn't want to pay for parking. Let's say even in the worst scenario, even if that was true, even if the reason why he parked far, and again, I think you're just guessing, you're just assuming he probably didn't tell you that the reason why he parked far is to avoid paying for parking. You probably assumed that. But even if that was true, he still didn't ask you to pay for half, which is worse, which I know many other men are guilty of. So it's still not the worst that could have happened. You're saying you're dating in your 30s, but you can't give this man the benefit of the doubt. You quickly eliminated him just because you assumed that he didn't want to pay for parking. And I can see your point, why it would seem like he shouldn't date you, or he shouldn't even try and take you out if he doesn't even want to pay for parking. But again, you don't know him. You don't know his personality. Some people just take the stairs when there's a lift. There are people like that. There are people that don't mind a little bit of exercise. I'm, in fact, one of these people. I appreciate walking. If the weather is nice, I would on purpose park the car a bit further away from the restaurant to enjoy that walk if I'm not wearing high heels. So you can't be quick to judge when you are dating in your 30s and you're saying that it is very rough out there and that you don't have many options. You can't be eliminating people for silly reasons like this. You girlies need to go and do your research. You need to see how frugal some of these billionaires can be, including Warren Buffett, Elon Musk. These men are billionaires, but they are known for having some frugal habits. And a guy, I'm sure, a guy you're dating who's definitely not a billionaire, it's smart at the end of the day for him not to spend a lot of money on every first date he goes on, because he doesn't even know you yet. He didn't get to know you yet. Perhaps he will like you, perhaps he will not. He didn't decide to invest in you as of yet. So as long as he doesn't make you pay for half of the bill, I don't think you should be reaching for a reason to eliminate him.
I am currently really struggling to understand the universe's plan for me. I don't get it. It's like I have so many wonderful things that I can share with somebody else. And it seems like whenever
I even get the tiniest glimpse of hope, just the tiniest, it immediately disappears. Like, oh, I went on a second date with somebody else and connected with them, and I want to try to pursue that. You were great, though. You were great. But I was just second in line, I guess. And every time I say, that's okay, because what's meant for me will find me. I truly believe that. But it's really hard to continue to stay hopeful and positive when just nothing works out. Like, nothing. And I'm not going to settle. I don't want to lower my standards or accept less than I deserve, because I would rather be alone. But my God, it's so draining. Dating is draining, and I just can't keep doing it. So at what point do you just accept being single forever? I don't know.
I wanted to include this girl in this video because I just want to clarify that I will never ask or expect a woman to lower her standards. So in this situation, in this case, I don't blame this woman for anything at all, because she has her own criteria, her must-haves, the most important things that she's looking for. And I'm guessing and I'm hoping that it's not a list of 20 detailed bullet points. I'm hoping that it's just 4, 5 must-haves and things that she has to necessarily find in her potential husband. For example, one of them should be financial. Maybe if she's looking for someone that earns more than her or that can be comfortable financially in a way, that's okay. And perhaps she's looking for someone taller or whatever. I don't know, right? I don't know her, but I'm hoping that she's going about it the right way, that she doesn't have a list of 20 boxes and the guy needs to tick every single one to even qualify, because let's be honest, that's not going to happen. If she's going about it the right way, she has reasonable criteria, because I'm guessing that she is, since in this case, she was rejected. She didn't eliminate anyone for any reason. And she's saying she would stick to her criteria and she would keep looking, but it's draining. In this case, if you are in your 30s and you are dating as a woman and you're not finding anyone, it's just about perception. Try to enjoy the dating process. Try to find it fun. Try to have a good time, whether you find your potential husband or not. Forget that the clock is ticking and all that talk, because that's what's getting you stressed. That's what's not letting you have a good time. Forget about that. Write a list of 4, 5 must-haves that you're looking for in a potential husband. Don't nitpick. Don't lower your standards as well. Keep looking. Don't stop. Don't take any dating breaks. I've seen women giving a lot of disturbingly wrong advice, saying that you should take a dating break if this is the case, this and that. Dating breaks can turn into years. Obviously, she's crying and she's stressed because she has goals that must include starting a family by a specific age, perhaps having children. So a break is not going to help. What's going to help in this type of situation is to keep going, is to not take a break, is to change your perspective, change the way you look at it. Try and enjoy going on dates. Try to enjoy meeting new people. Okay, this guy rejected her. There's nothing to enjoy about rejection, but still, I'm guessing not every single guy is going to be as direct when rejecting you. At the same time, you don't want to waste time. You may have to cut your losses if he seems not interested enough, but you need to know how to play this game without tiring yourself.
So you know what's the worst part of dating when you're 31 is that either all the good ones are married, happy for you guys, but then you have this pool of guys that's either gay or they're just not worth it.
Again, it's all about perception. This doesn't have to be true. If the women that you said took all the good ones out of the game already in their 20s, if these women would have thought, oh, these guys are not going to be serious anyway because we're all too young, we're in our early or mid 20s, he's not going to take me seriously, then none of these men that you say are good would have already been taken, right? So it's all about perception. If these women would have said in their 20s, there's no way that anyone is going to be serious because we're all still young, nobody wants to get married so early. If they thought like this, it's all about perception. They wouldn't even be married by 30. And now You're 30. For some people, that's the ideal age for marriage. For some men, it is too. But because you have this type of perception, it's already going to create an obstacle for you.
I'm a little hesitant to make this video because I don't want to like overshare, but at the same time, the last videos that I posted about Toronto dating, a lot of girls told me they like really resonated with them and they've had similar experiences. So here's my Toronto dating update. On 2 dates. Literally when I came here, I thought that I was going to be going on dates like every week with like different guys and like finding my person. But honestly, it's been really disappointing. So go back and watch my other one where you'll see kind of like what happened. And then since then, I went on another date with one guy. I actually met him at a bar when I was here in like September, and we kept in touch since then. And then he asked me to go out for a drink one night. It was like a Saturday night, and had such a good time. I was so funny because I was like telling my friends, I was like, oh my God, he bought my drink. He was asking me questions. He held the door for me. He walked me home, like literally the bare minimum. I liked him. I wanted to see him again.
You're saying that you like this guy. You enjoyed your time with him. You took a mental note of every sweet little thing that he did for you, like holding the door or buying you a drink or walking you back home. And by your standards alone, that was very sweet. That was nice. That was something that impressed you to some extent. But then after telling your friends, somehow you suddenly are convinced that it's literally the bare minimum. Let me guess. I think one of your friends turned the narrative around. One of your friends convinced you, or maybe all of them, that it is not enough. So you went out with this guy, you had good chemistry, you came back very excited, the way you just told us, and impressed. And you even thought that you had a good connection, perhaps. And then when you tried to find what made you feel that way specifically, and you mentioned these little gestures that he did, your friends convinced you that it wasn't good enough. So they didn't take into consideration the chemistry or the other factors that are not really tangible and that cannot be measured. They don't realize that you had a good connection with him. When you said the specific little things that he did for you, it suddenly seemed like it wasn't good enough and that it was literally the bare minimum. You even rolled your eyes now and said that it was not good enough anymore. So a little bird is telling me right now that perhaps your friends don't have your best interest at heart, and you should watch out and be careful around them, especially if you're dating in your 30s.
And he was messaging me every single day, like throughout the day, multiple messages, but he never asked me to hang out again. And eventually I had to just like stop responding to him because I was always wondering, like, when is he going to message me again? Is he going to ask me to hang out? Like, it was just too much, and it just took up too much of my brain space. I felt so distracted, and I'm just like, I need to cut this off. So thank God that I did that, because he still hasn't asked me to hang out. And even if he asked me, I'd say no at this point. And then there was another guy more recently. We were supposed to go on a first date, hadn't met him before. And like, we could just not align on a time. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. I'll go out with him if it works out, but I'm not going to like bend over backwards and like change my schedule, because I've done that before where I deprioritize my friends when I had a boyfriend, and I'm not doing that this time.
I can see here, I can sense that your friends are training you to keep you single forever, because like you said, they get to stay with you, go out with you whenever they can. If you have someone, obviously it's not everyone is going to be happy for you. If you have someone special, if you have a romantic life partner, maybe you wouldn't have as much time for your friends anymore. So maybe you can think about that and look into that. Not all friends are like this, but like I said, I'm talking about this specific lady and this specific case. I'm sensing that your friends perhaps are not your well-wishers. But again, you said you had good chemistry, you enjoyed your time with that guy. I mean, before your friends convinced you that you didn't. And then you were texting him and he was excited, he was talking to you all the time, and you were waiting as an adult that can communicate verbally and say what they think and what they want in a clear way. Perhaps he was waiting for you to suggest to go on a second date. He was trying to see if you are comfortable doing that or if you're not. And just because he didn't ask first to go on a second date or whatever, but he was still texting you and putting in effort the entire time, you just cut him out for no reason. I mean, we all know the real reason. It was your friend's influence. But I'm just saying.
But in general, my kind of feeling of like dating right now is it just takes up so much of my energy, and I'm like, and for what? I'm like making myself anxious over like, what does this message mean? Oh, they looked at my story. Like, does that mean they want to hang out with me, but they're not asking me? I'm like, it just seems like every time there is even a guy in the picture. I like think about it way too much. And then when I'm focusing on myself and my friends, I just feel like I don't have a care in the world. I'm so happy, so carefree. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm still like open to dating, but I don't really know if it's my priority right now.
Yeah, we got it. Your friends will definitely keep you single. They are trying to convince you to take a break from dating. Again, like I said, you are in your 30s. You're already saying you don't have many options as it is. And now you're going to take a break from dating to enjoy yourself with your friends, which you can do, obviously, even when you find someone, even when you have someone special on the side. Anyway, good for her. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to subscribe. And again, if you want real guidance, I have created a course, a chronological course that takes you step by step from day one when you are single and unprepared, and helps you meet your best potential match, your most suitable match and potential partner within ideally 6 months to a year. So if this is something of interest, check the description box and you will find the link to my community under this video. You will find the course that I just described in the classroom section of the community, and I'll see you there.